welcome back. Today, as I said yesterday, today is going to be the full focus on all the side quests, and of course the final few hunts as well. Yeah, I know there's going to be a lot. I just hope I can get all of them today, because the plan is to be the finale tomorrow together with a friend of mine. So anyway, let's do just that, right? I will start with Pandemonium. He should be around here, the hunt. So let's start with that, and from there we're going to do the side quests one by one. I'm not exactly sure where Pandemonium is, but let's just look for him, shall we? Of course, the stream today also depends on how long it will take me to get to everything. I also think I will hold on the... This is going to be my final build. I'm pretty happy with the build I have right now. There might be better builds and whatever, but for me personally this is a very good one. I know how to utilize it, I know what to do, so yeah. That. I am going to see, because I didn't actually watch. Oh, so he still needs 2 more levels. Dromy Striker. I wonder how long it will take for him to be full level, because I actually do want to have him at his max as well. Okay, let's go there. I don't think I have been there actually before. Castle. Yeah, I think I'm going to be in the right place. Yes, indeed. There he is. Pandemonium. For Creative Business Unit 3 loves to name their things like very...
Oh look, it's the king of the castle.
not expect that one.
That's better.
Fucking dangerous. Okay. The finale was not as good as I was hoping, but we still managed. Still did good. Modesty is not a trait that comes to mind when one thinks of an orc, so it is a mystery why they bother to wear a loincloth. At all, when the thin stripes of cloth only afford nominal protection and leave not to the imagination. There are some scholars, however, who argue that they are vestiges from when the creatures were more civilized and serve as proof of the evolution of the species. Oh my god.
Your reign is at an end.
Indeed. And with that, at the moment, I think there's going to be more hunts from the side quests. But at the moment, that's going to be it. So let's start the hunts. Let's start the side quests, beginning with the letters. Reluctant as I am to add your burdens, I would ask your aid in a personal matter, albeit one that may benefit to your cause. There exist ancient texts deemed so injurious to modern thought that mere possession is deemed a crime, and it was a chance encounter with one such tome from a distance that sparked within me the scholastic curiosity which burns to this very day. I wish to enlist your aid in reclaiming that text, should you require further incentive. Know that I am willing to offer compensation for service rendered. Vivian.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Okay, and the one. In the mood. In case you haven't noticed, your poor hound spends all his time of late on the rear deck, whimpering like Gav in his cups. Something ain't right, and my guts tell me it's not to do with his supply of antelope bones. Follow a question?
What is it this time, Torgal?
I guess we'll start with Karen. Or not Karen, immediately going to Torgal.
Say what you will.
What's up, my boy? Are you looking at
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
How long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you?
It's a reminder of him now.
You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, can't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
He's a good boy, he doesn't talk back.
Where to then, Torgal?
Follow Torgal.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria.
Yeah.
Why don't we try the rookery?
It's a smart dog.
I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. The port is older then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
We're going to an island, yes. Whew. Ah. Boats, board the rowboats. Pete,
It's still here,
here you come.
after all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you were a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy.
Ah. He doesn't want to swim.
I wasn't being serious.
You're losing so much hair, you know that? Ah, come on. It's been a while since you were laying next to me, bro.
This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on.
It's nice that the side quest takes you on to places
Race
where
it there.
you
I bet I could still beat you.
that you're not have been in the main quest. Even villages. Like I said, I think few of the villages are like side quest only that you can access.
Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
That it still stands too. That's crazy. After 18 years. Aww.
Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here?
No.
My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy?
Nah. Beautiful.
Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either.
Going in further.
That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going.
Damn, so beautiful. Sadly for the skies, but it's still a beautiful view.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Very beautiful. Beautiful quest. Clive's old sparring sword, salvaged by a faithful friend in the aftermath of the Ironblood invasion 18 winters past. Remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon. Rodney Murdoch. Rest in peace. Even a legendary king surrounded by the realm's greatest knights and blessed by the very heavens would have found himself hard-pressed to unite the warring tribes of ancient Valistia. Fortunately, he had the help of his fine and trusty hound, Gavel. Increases Torgal attack potency. I wonder if we're going to get a +2. Well, that's number 1 down. Number 2. Yawn.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Hippocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated. There's something about it.
You okay, Repeat? I'm not used to you being here. Lately you've only been running away from me.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Hippocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers.
Oh wow.
A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known.
Ooh,
Or,
interesting.
so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
My hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Well, I'm going to allude right now because I'm actually very interested in that book as well. The real history of bearers, I actually want to know that. So, oh.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost.
Oh.
Ah, yes.
You have arrived at the solution then? Dion will carry us.
Indeed.
A feat befitting the final act. I congratulate myself that I shall live long enough to see it, a feat in itself for a man of my years. But to be serious, it's no small thing to march against fate, Clive. You must be certain of your footing, lest the winds of destiny divert you from your course. Are you certain of your footing, Clive? I am.
Then go.
And do what you must.
Having never visited, I cannot tell you exactly where in Garnick my friend's lodgings lie, but he did mention they were some distance from the road. I make no guarantee that you will find what you seek there, only that it is the best and perhaps the only place left to look. Go safely.
Whoops. Fuck.
Fly, Ambrosia.
I wonder if the town is been occupied by orcs now.
Kevin?
Ja.
Wanneer heb je de laatste keer de wasmachine gebruikt?
Laatste keer wasmachine, ik denk... Ik ben niet op bezig. Vorige week donderdag.
Ja, dat kan niet.
Nee, van de week heb ik hem nog niet gebruikt.
Nou, maar Kevin, kijk, je ziet nu je wassen, maar het ze wit nahangen van de week.
Of was het dinsdag? Het gaat dan dinsdag zijn. Dinsdag dan.
En zo. Ja. Ja, maar dat de wasmachine nog aan lag, terwijl dat de deur open stond, dus hij moet zijn grief uitgehaald, terwijl mijn wasmachine nog aan lag.
Oké.
Dat is niet goed, hè.
Nee.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
Library. Search for a library, I guess. Complete botany of veins. Butterfroidy or tail of viper. White of flowered, black of root. The latter of which gives out an inky gal when cut or flushed. The tribesmen of northern storm pick their skin with oaken needles soaked in such drawing curious patterns about their arms and legs in honor of their heathen gods. The gal is passing toxicate that a single drop taken by the mouth may result in cramps most painful for 5 days and 5 nights, or if applied to a wound, certain death. Should the slip of the needle in the young warrior's life, it is said that his skin print failed to find favor among the heavens.
His interests were certainly varied.
The folk's lorest fabular, the Moogle. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valesteel folktales than the humble Moogle. Though they are occasionally painted a mischievous soul against the pixies or imps, most stories depict them as clumsy yet cognizable spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. They are said to have sweet tooths, leading the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweet meats uncovered overnight, lest not remain but crumbs come morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, excepting the small dark wings by which they are somehow able to take flight, and the brightly colored pom-poms that protrude from the tops of their heads. And yet there is one detail regarding the Moogle that most finds most remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow: the fact that the creature actually exists. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are stuff of the legends. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth, and in this case of the Moogle, the fact may be not dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm, and the illustrations besides the name, why it's none other than the Moogle. Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the Twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carried them to other climes. Perhaps they were hunted to extinction, or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still among us, hidden away far from human view. Or you can always come to the hideaway. From a distance. Oh, here we are. Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bearers. Okay, The emergence of first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift comes to the commonly known is most likely a contraction of bearer of the heavenly blessing. The wording used to be used by the tribunes of the time. Bearer of the heavenly blessing. Those born with the blessings were loaded as living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Oh, so they were actually revered instead of, slaved. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion led by the bearers themselves. A development that would prove great faithful. The diverse nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the church, while the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structures of state. They were mistrusting of an organization led by the bearers. For bearers, efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office. Jesus Christ. Evicting adherents from their homes and breaking up meeting by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution, and yet is continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for nigh a generation, and disseminated. I know it's not how I should pronounce it, but whatever. The population of men and bearers both, the deluge of blood, that stained the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Palestinian people. After the bearers' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Palestina came together to sign the Continental Accord. That was what I was thinking. That initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. It is well-known phrase, bearers are other than human, has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed only excuse for the calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies. Okay. So, basically, like I said, they were revered, and there's like one faction that hated that, and they made sure that the bears knew what their places were in life, and apparently they lost. The bears lost, and then the Continental Accord was made. I always wondered if there was more to the story, and here we are.
This is it.
Very interesting.
But if what it says is true,
Yeah.
I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Thank you. Royal Intelligence Training Report. In the wake of the tragic fire at Cair Norvent in 873 and the subsequent depletion of our most highly practiced intelligence, all mainland strongholds were instructed to redouble training and clandestine maneuvers, improved weaponry and assassination technique, and dispatch promising volunteers to Stonehenge for inspection. This report details progress made by the stronghold at Garnick in reinvigorating Walud's ranks of esteemed intelligence. This is about Benedicta. Okay. Very interesting. Oh, I need to. Okay. I guess I will have to battle.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you from a distance. So to speak.
Subtle.
Really subtle.
I know who you are.
And we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Yeah, but I won't go easily, so... Sorry. Only 4?
See, shall we?
Come on. Look at yourself go. Boom. Like I said, 4 is definitely not enough to kill me.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait.
I'll definitely have going to have a follow-up quest on that one still.
Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Alright. Very interesting though. Very interesting.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
No mention is made as the name of the author, whether that is because the title page has been lost to time or because the tome was published anonymously. It is impossible to say.
You You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one.
That's a hard thing to do,
As the sad
though.
history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm.
Damn.
And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Very interesting quest, and again, I do think we're going to have going to be a follow-up quest on that one, but you'll see. Vivian Ninetales, scholarly headwear awarded to her upon the completion of her studies at the University of Canver. Given the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth, make them believe in you as I do. New quest available nearby. Let's see. Is it going to be the follow-up quest already? Or just another one? I'm going to see this first. Vivian Ninetales academic cap, awarded to her upon her graduation for from the University of Canver. Now Vivian shares her leaving with Clive, the gift of the bonnet serving as a pledge that so long as they remain together, her knowledge shall be as much as his as it's her own. George's sparring sword. Clive's old sparring sword, salvaged by Torgal in the aftermath of the Ironblood invasion and hidden at Clive's original hideaway, the Rookery. It is a reminder of who Clive once was and who he has become, as well as the unbreakable bond between lifelong friends. Alright. The two of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there's still a lot you have to learn about the hound of yours. He'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant to protect you, but that don't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and sometimes he just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of kupo nuts. You do good to remember that. I am aware that there are matters of much greater importance which demand your attention, but should you find yourself, I bet you visit me in the shells that I might ask a single favor concerning His Highness Prince Dion. Yeah.
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about.
A tale to tell, but the tale as in a tail, not a tail.
Lawsman Hippocrates. I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor.
Oh wow.
This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Sid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting, not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready
Still
to help you any
far-fetched,
way
though.
that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the color. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
Interesting to know that Hippocrates was once. Let's see where I need to go. Was once the tutor of. Come on. Dion, but still, I do think he's kinda far-fetched in thinking that the burden of Dion is also his, but I guess it's kind of fine. Oof. This is a different view from when I came in here. I mean, I know I saw it like this, but seeing this at a different angle is very nice. Very nice.
Come on. Run like the wind.
Ow! What the fuck?
Seems this place has been flooded twice over.
Yeah.
Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Nice. Defeated him in one stagger. Very good.
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
Yuck. Not a new one. Alright. I didn't even do anything yet.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
Records suggest that the white myrtle was first cultivated for purpose of distilling a purple dye from its petals. However, when the tendent blossoms were discovered to lose their hue over time, the gardens of early Valestea made the fateful decision to investigate the practical properties of their roots instead.
Did you? I don't.
It's no trouble. Go and fetch him.
I really hope Dion survives, by the way.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
No. It's time, then.
No. Only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Hippocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done.
He feels the same.
I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak.
He doesn't think like
I've
that.
sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
And that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself, and to him, how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. To him.
Follow me.
It's so funny that they are both like very scared of each other to see one another.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Hippocrates, pray, accept my apology for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue.
I don't know if I like
Their
the
roots
white
are
or purple
indistinguishable
more.
from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Hippocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm. For only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. I wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Oh, brother. Damn.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soul in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T.
Yeah, I think so too.
When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Ooh.
Well, when day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
Lordman Harpocrates' best loved writing implemented, whose nib has gripped many a learned tome. It is said that an owl's feather are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime, all those words just waiting to pour out in the page. Reduces Kika flare cooldown by 6 seconds, a gift from the very first Emperor of Zambrex to his infant son. This ring has graced the hand of every dominant of the Bahamut since. The ether it absorbed from the icon over the years, aiding the next Imperial Scion in drawing out the full potential of their bloodline. But now the Empire lies in ruin and that bloodline is broken, so let it be with Bahamut as was always intended. Nice. These quest lines are very beautiful written, in my opinion. They are pretty short, but they hold very nice story to it each time. Lordman Harpocrates' best loved writing implement, whose ink has penned many a learned tome, and they said that the long quill of the solace become imbued with the wishes it hears over its long lifetime, the words just waiting to pour out onto his page. So should the day come that Clive puts down his sword and picks up the pen, then he shall not find his one and only insurmountable enemy in writer's block. It occurs to me that a single word of thanks does not nearly suffice to express my gratitude for reuniting me with From the Distance. The tomb made me who I am today, and yet I thought I should never set eyes upon it again. That those who took it from me had forever robbed me of a part of myself. But now I am whole again, thanks to you. I regret that I can only fill in the gaps in your knowledge and not the holes in your soul, for which reason I shall ever be in it. Okay, next quest. By the way, Gav, what do you have to say?
You alright? About that.
If there's anything I can do to help you kill this ultimate blow, you just say the word A. You could promise me to take its name off my hands.
Oi!
Don't even joke about that. Anyway, I thought you said you hadn't finished with it yet. I did, didn't I? No, if you wanted to give me an even grander title, something to rival your Sid the Outlaw, that'd be a different story.
Let's see.
Gav the Magnificent, Gav the Almighty, Gav the Lionheart, something along those lines. I'll leave that to you to decide. I'm sure you're more than capable of choosing the perfect moniker for Sid's right-hand man. Right-hand man, eh? I'll take it.
You off then?
Hey Byron. You're set on this plan of yours then? I am. You never were one to shy away from a fight. Some might say it runs in the family. Your father would be proud.
Thank you, Uncle.
I know he'll be with us up there.
As for down here,
You may take comfort in the knowledge that the realm will be in my capable hands until your return. Ha 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 ha. Indeed.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved. But such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many, but in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes, but such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
From
I
the
thought he
map.
was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long
It's
as
good.
chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes.
It
And
could
if
be
the Field Marshal
beneficial
wishes
as
to
well.
speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
Right. Oof. You are losing a lot of hair, you know that? Anyway. Travel to Poklat. Oh, okay.
That too.
So that's how I go to the Imperial capital.
Papa? What is it? Oh, please.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Nothing good's gonna come of this, I'm telling you. Just looking at it's enough to send a shiver down your spine.
To be honest, I actually thought it was here. I thought it was this that raised. But apparently not. Apparently it was a little bit further down the road. Hey girl.
All right. That can't be Rutherford, can it?
It is.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him.
This won't take long.
Rutherford in Havel.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
Ah, motherfucker. There's a healer. There we go. It would be faster if it was if the healer wasn't there, or I killed the healer first.
A little longer than I'd have liked.
Yeah.
Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. my lord, Marquis? Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals, but those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
Is it Vivian? She's...
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This
Or
is
is
a
it
job
Otto?
for someone with experience.
Might be Otto.
Someone like Quentin.
Or Quentin, yeah. It was either
If I can
Otto or
convince him
Quentin.
at least.
I wasn't sure which one of the two was it going to be. I wonder, so if we actually can get this quest, even if we haven't done the Lost Ring episodes first. It's highly likely not.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
made sure our fallen comrades were laid to rest. And they can rest easy, knowing that their sacrifice wasn't in vain. That justice was done. As for us survivors, well, we've just got to keep at it. Keep the family together. For their sakes.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotan gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
You can bet that.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Any statesmen we speak with are liable to resist our entreaties if they feel that what little power remains to them is at stake. They must be dealt with skillfully. I shall not repeat the errors of my past.
Reckon Master Quentin could argue an egg back up a hen's quib if he set his mind to it.
Yeah, well, rather not, but I understand. Oh wow. Getting all the letters. Oh, whoops. Baron is here now.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
Yeah.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quentin would probably call me one of his.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a
True.
horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
Yeah.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
Why?
I'm happy to
That's
hear
good,
it.
but why?
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw.
Once more onto the breach.
The hell?
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
Okay. Bit of a weird scene, but sure.
Well, my boy, the stage is set.
that it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities. that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
I love the reference to Arthur. Signed by representatives from Zarya, Demacia and Sambrek, this mutual accord sets the stage for a new age in Storm, if not official, then at least in spirit. For what great moment in history has been accompanied by a little ceremony. A residual Dark Eater that, having failed to dissipate on the battlefield, has instead manifested into a solid form not unlike crystal, but with an elemental pure that renders it far more potent if not highly specialized in its applications. Reduce Heaven's Cloud cooldown by 2.5 seconds. Okay, another one down.
What do you think that thing is?
20 more to go.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Yeah.
Finding bearers always was her strong point.
She's in prison.
Seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
Then we go together.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Alright, nobody still. Let's free some bearers. Oh.
Let's
I
go.
know where we're going. Yeah. We couldn't go in here. Good.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashyyyk. I need to hurry. All right. Be safe.
thought this was a battlefield, by the way, and not a prison.
No guards, I take it.
None manning the gates. No. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thickest there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. I'll keep my eyes open for signs of life.
Balmor Dark, writ of designation. The Kingdom of Alut hereby designate his facility a prison for the detained of Paris, both foreign and domestic. The purpose of this facility is to rear and train a Kuza beast for deployment in the field. Their formidable purpose is a matter of strictest secrecy, and any mention thereof is to be punished by death. Captive bearers have been provided solely for the pursuit of the formidable purpose. Express permission is required for use of bearers in any other capacity. Okay, so there's going to be...
this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
It's still here. That's why it looks like a battlefield, because they are training the beast here.
Tight.
Okay. It's weird that it says find and rescue the captive bearers, but the only thing I found was a letter. Recommendation concerning Kuza beast deployment. The Kuza has long been recognized as an especially aggressive species. This being the case, it was hoped that successful deployment on the battlefield might be a means of inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy. An exercise conducted thus far, however, the beast has proven incapable of distinguish between ally and enemy combatants. As such, deployment alongside regular troops is not recommended. It is proposed instead that the bearer captives be employed in order to draw enemy focus and the beast then driven into the fray in order to achieve maximum benefit with minimal loss of Waluders' lives. Oh wow.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives.
Yeah.
What happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
That's saying something. Memorandum on Kuza beast feeding. Recent supply shortages left us with insufficient resource to feed the Kuza entrusted to our care. Fortunately, the creature was observed to kill and consume the bears assigned to fight beside us in mock battle conducted as part of its training. The beast was further observed to enter a state of visible contentment upon feeding in this way, suggesting that live bears may even be its preferred source of sustenance. While its behavior is unexpected, this is not unwelcome. Bears no longer of use for training purpose can now be repurposed as required. Fucked up. So fucked
They were
up.
feeding bears to it.
Yeah.
This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
That's just not normal. Oh. Fuck. What just happened? I can't hear anything anymore. Where's my... The hell? Oh yes. Okay. Just a second. How? Why the hell is this? Come on. Oh. That's still HDMI. What the hell? Okay, I think I'll need to stop streaming at the moment. I'll come back.